today. Oh, wait. So, figured we'd go for a walk. As you can hear, the dogs are out. Yeah, good to see you too, Rooter. I'm surprised that I didn't. I kind of wish that I did a live stream when I got 1,000 subscribers, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Oh yeah, thanks. Traffic not looking too bad today. Now we're gonna take a little walk in the park. Well, not exactly the park per se, but yeah. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're all having a fine Monday afternoon. Just figured, you know what? I have my cereal and peanut butter sandwich, so I had my breakfast. Oh, hey, what's up? Harsh Truth in the building. What's up, Frank? How's it going, man? Good to see you, buddy. It's been a while since I heard from you. Yeah, I just figured, got something to eat. So, and I got 1,000 subscribers. In fact, we're only getting higher and higher into that. I think it's around 1,201. Again, thank you so much for everyone that's been supporting my channel. So, but yeah, man. So I figured, you know what, this would be a good time to test out the live stream, because I couldn't do it at first because I didn't have 1,000 subscribers, but now I do. So I figured, you know what, I'll just do this. Just make a live stream and just take a nice little walk outside. But yeah, it's good to see you again, Frank. If you guys also have any comments or questions, feel free to let me know. I mean, I guess it's really about anything. Just probably gonna walk for about maybe an hour or so, but I don't know if I'm gonna have the live stream go on for that long. Who knows? Man. But I guess I'll maybe talk about, for example, now that I saw Frank here. I don't know if you're still here, buddy, but I did see Wakanda Forever. That is one movie that I saw in the theater. Overall, I don't think it was as bad as people say it was. I didn't know what to really. I thought the first Wakanda was Black Panther movie was pretty good. So, but I don't know. I wasn't really, having the highest of expectations, I guess, for Wakanda Forever. I'm not really too high on either of the movies, but I don't hate either of them either. I don't know. You're on the internet. It's you either have people who really love a movie, or you have people who really hate a movie, or you have people that are kind of in between, but we all have our biases. But what did you guys think? What did you guys think of the movie? Let me know in the comments below, and we can have a little bit of a discussion about that. Let's see. I did, however, see the Santa Claus films, 1, 2, and 3, and surprisingly, the first one obviously is, well, it's no surprise the first one is the best one, but I actually don't like the second one, but I really did find the third one to be entertaining. Now, after watching the Nostalgia Critic, I do kind of understand that, yeah, maybe it is more in just how awkward it is. I thought it was pretty good, definitely high emotion. Yeah, me too, man. In fact, interesting enough, my buddy Jim, who is part of a program called Partners in Autism, he kind of just hangs out with me. So it's almost like a Big Brothers Big Sisters program in a way. So, anyways, so we kind of just hang out. We do whatever for a few hours, and believe it or not, man, um, he hasn't been to the movie theater in 14 years. Literally, the last movie that he saw was The Dark Knight. So, I'm really glad that I was able to, I paid for both of our tickets. Um, we both, we had our seats, and this was the first time that he ever, because we went to uh, we went to Regal Cinemas, and that is one of the few movie theaters that that has the reclining seats. So so he was really blown away. He was like, "Whoa! Like they got reclining seats here." So yeah, that was really cool. I was really glad that I was able to show. And yeah, he liked the movie too. And yeah, I thought it was pretty good too. I didn't really find it to be, um, again, as bad as some people made it out to be. But again, that's the internet. People are only uh, happy when they want to be, or there's always got to be something, some sort of flaw in pretty much everything. But what was I saying? But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought it was well written. I don't think it was particularly the most memorable in dialogue, but in emotion, I thought it was pretty good. Like I definitely thought that Namor's story was done, very well, dramatically, and I just like the. Oh right, I remember what I was talking about. Mine just goes from one thing to the other. It was like, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Santa Claus movies. Because after all, it is December, and I am definitely, continuing that of maybe trying to make it an annual thing of every December. I'm gonna review like a Christmas movie within each December or something that's relating to the holiday. Um, so Santa Claus 3, I think, yes, maybe it is more in the sense of that I only found it the most entertaining because it's just it is just kind of like an awkward film that you just can't help but laugh. But I don't know. I was genuinely getting some laughs out of it. I don't know. I thought Martin Short was ironically my favorite part, and the fact that they turned the North Pole into Canada, and it even had like some funny one-liners. It's like the chick from Cheaper by the Dozen. She just goes to Martin Short. She's like, "All right, dude, chill," and then Martin Short goes, "I invented chill." It was pretty funny. I don't know about you guys, but and to me, the second Santa Claus just didn't have that. It was to me more annoying and more just kind of in your face. And the Tim Allen Santa Claus clone was just not funny to me. It was just I don't know, man. Um, but yeah, I thought that was pretty good. But going back to Wakanda Forever, um, the action scenes were definitely really good. In fact, I could even say were even better than the first one. It's like just action everywhere, all over the place. Like that's when I really started to, just get lifted off my seat, just like whoa, you know. Especially when the car flipped over, and then you had Namor's guards, and they were fighting the Wakanda people and just pa pa pa. Good stuff, man. Um, yeah, yeah, it was pretty good. Oh, what else is there to talk about? Again, feel free to. Okay, well, what else? Survivor Series. I did see Survivor Series as well as NXT Deadline. I definitely know that as far as NXT Deadline, there's apparently a lot of people that are not very happy about what happened with the booking or whatever. But I don't know, man. That's just never really been my thing. I guess that's kind of in the sense of when it comes to me as a wrestling fan, I still, even in the age of the internet, still am, and I'm pretty much the same wrestling fan I was when I was like 5 or 6 years old. I'm just more knowledgeable about the history of pro wrestling and or the WWE. Um, I'm just a little bit more knowledgeable and not completely, just like uh, believing that like, oh, like everything that happened actually happened. Like when I was a kid, I thought when in 2000, when Vince McMahon, when he got out of when he went into the limousine and it just blew up and it caught on fire, I was like, oh my God. Like as a kid, seeing that live, I thought like, oh my God, like Vince McMahon literally died. They killed a man on live TV. Or the Undertaker was really, a dead man and things like that. So as that kind of fan, I thought, I think the WWE has been doing not too bad as far as make some good pay-per-views. I thought also Survivor Series was pretty good. I liked the the women's War Games match. I thought that was probably the best match of the night. And NXT Deadline just had some overall pretty good wrestling. No, and for those who want to know, no, I did not see the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, but that's only because I don't have I was only able to watch the WWE pay-per-views because I have Peacock and I don't have any actual money to spend on pay-per-views such as the Ring of Honor one. And but apparently that one was the best pay-per-view in a lot of wrestling fans' opinions. Excuse me for a moment, I gotta go and blow my nose. Excuse me, just one more. All right, cool, cool, Frank. Yeah, I gotta go and blow my nose, but yeah, thanks, man. You have a great day at work. Be right back. Okay. Oh, crap. What did I do with my glasses? Ah, here they are. Yeah, they're definitely quite the responsibility, but I'm so happy though that I have them. Thank you for the two people that are watching again. Shout out to Frank from the Harsh Truth. Please go and check out his channel when you ever have the time. That's what I always like to do. For any one of my friends or family that comes and joins the live stream, I always like to give them shout outs um, and make sure that people check out their content because we're all just trying to entertain you all, but we're also just trying to get by and just make names for ourselves. Yeah, this is like I haven't done a live stream in quite a while, but thanks for whoever. I think it was Frank who liked my stream. And again, the two people that are watching, again, if you have any comments, feel free to let me know. Okay. Now at the 15-minute mark. Well, what is there to talk about? Well, I guess I'll show something interesting that I found out. This is my buddy Jim. He left this here. Right here, that's my former boss, Norm Compton. He won what is called the Liddell Award. I don't know what the Liddell Award is. Of course, just immediately thought, Chuck Liddell has an award. Obviously, no, he doesn't. But I'm still glad that he won an award. He's a great guy. For those within my vicinity that aren't too far away from Fort Wayne, Norm Compton, he's a great guy. It was such a blast just talking to him. He's really funny, and yeah, just great guy. Great guy. Okay, now, that's the worst thing about these live streams. You gotta find out what to talk about. Let's see here. Well, I guess we'll go right to the news. Spider-Man 2 is trending. Which is interesting, because when it came to these glasses, people either say I look like Peter Parker or Clark Kent. Marvel and DC, what are you going to do? But I love Spider-Man. In fact, I just saw, I finished the 90s Spider-Man series, so I'm really excited about knowing that I've done that. It was so much fun. It's interesting because on one hand, I didn't grow up technically with the series like 90s kids because I was born in 2000, but I also did in a way grow up with it, but only through DVDs and specifically going to Hollywood Video and renting the limited release DVDs that only had like a few episodes. Like there was Spider-Man versus Daredevil, Spider-Man versus Green Goblin, and I think there was just one, Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus, and Spider-Man and I think just one that just had Spider-Man. But they were both from the same 90s series with Christopher Daniel Barnes doing the voice of Peter Parker / Spider-Man. And yeah, those are just, it was overall a very good series. I think it really did Spider-Man the most justice in animation. And maybe that's probably what I would like to talk about is it's just a little bit about how my overall thoughts about the series versus, say, Spectacular Spider-Man. Because both of them are very good series, and both of them have their strengths and their weaknesses. Or, I don't even think really that. It's more of, in my opinion, it's more of, I don't know, just things that I prefer just a little bit more in the 90s Spider-Man than I do in the more modern, Spectacular Spider-Man. For example, I just think Christopher Daniel Barnes as Peter Parker and or Spider-Man, I don't know, I just feel even more of just a memorable, emotional performance. Like when he got mad, he got just like, wow, like you do not want to come up to Spider-Man, Christopher Daniel Barnes portrayal on a bad day. Like if he's had a bad day, if he's like lost Mary Jane, or he's trying to to look for her or whatever, or just something like that. If he's like really emotional, he will let you know, like, this is not a good time. And like, and almost at times like he is going to, just become like a murderous Spider-Man in a way. Like sometimes, he can get that angry, but obviously he never goes fully along with it. And eventually he always kind of stops himself and realizes, wait a minute, like this is not the way to go. Like there was at one point where uh Mary Jane's aunt was just giving Peter all this grief because Mary Jane was missing, and Peter just went off on her, and it was just like, oh my god, like you would think, that if he really didn't care, he probably would have, done like what he pretty much always did with the bad guys, swing a web and just drop kick. But in this case, he probably just drop kick her right in the face. It's just also another kind of funny thing that um, in the 90s Spider-Man series, you could never have Spider-Man punch somebody in the face. That was part of the censorship, for the kids. You can only just have him do basically drop kicks. He can only just kick people. He couldn't, or just kind of throw them over his shoulder. What are you gonna do? Even though that is pretty silly. But yeah, I just think that it was just such a good series. I don't like though the way that they kind of used Silvermane. I think that the way that they used Silvermane was just a little too silly, and just I don't know. And that's one thing that I will say that in Spectacular Spider-Man they did so much better. They made him so much more of a credible villain. He was, the villains in Spectacular Spider-Man were able to be taken more seriously. Not to say that in the 90s Spider-Man didn't do well. Like for example, like obviously to me, I think it's got the best version of the Kingpin. Roscoe Lee Brown is the Kingpin. Like even with the limited releases, again, those DVDs that I watched all those years ago in Hollywood, at the Hollywood Video that I rented as a kid, those were the examples that I always had of who these characters were. Like when I heard Kingpin, I always thought of Roscoe Lee Brown's performance. When I thought of Tombstone, I always thought of, I forgot who the actor's name was, so I'm gonna check it. Dorian Harewood. I apologize if I messed up his name, but that is the exact voice that I thought of and look when I think of Tombstone. And of course, as great as J.K. Simmons is, Ed Asner is, of course, rest in peace. He is definitely one of the best portrayals in animation of J. Jonah Jameson. There's no denying that. I think that he is just absolutely perfect, from his mannerisms to just how much as, despite being unlikable, he's only intentionally unlikable, but yet still has a good heart and does care about Peter and about doing the right thing. Just sometimes he is on the wrong side of the tracks, but is never really a bad guy, obviously. And of course, I mean, Mark Hamill as the Hobgoblin, even though that never really played like a major part. That's always, a bonus when you can get the Joker to voice a villain. But yeah, that's another thing I have to say about the 90s Spider-Man series is that, again, when I thought of a lot of these characters, I always think and hear their 90s counterparts. And it was also just really cool to get some cool Marvel references, like to the classic Marvel age before any of us were even born. Because later on, spoilers, I forgot to mention, there are spoilers, I mean, I could just go on and on, but you know what? Maybe I'll just make a live stream in the future more in detail about this 90s Spider-Man series, because I have to just encourage you all that if you get the chance to go to Disney Plus and watch the show, even though you will probably be like me and you'll be just a little bit disappointed, not because the finale is bad, but because it's just such a great series that you just want more. But yeah, the only few flaws that I have with the series is that the voice is that I don't think, as much as as much as there are Marvel appearances, as much as you have different Marvel appearances, such as the Punisher, and then Blade, and then Morbius, as much as they all play a part in the show, and they are cool to have, I don't think they utilize them enough. I especially think Daredevil isn't utilized just a little bit more. I would have wanted just a few more episodes, which I think maybe could have helped if they did maybe one or maybe even two more seasons. Maybe if there was two more seasons, season 6, season 7, then maybe we could have gotten more talk about, Daredevil. Maybe we could have gotten a little bit more to talk about Blade, and then Morbius, and then maybe even the Punisher later on. I just think that, yeah, those are some of the few Marvel guest appearances within the 90s Spider-Man series that I won't say are completely useless and just kind of hey, isn't that cool? Look, it's Blade. As much as they do play their part, they aren't really utilized just enough. They're utilized just enough, but not enough for me to just say oh yeah, they really played a part in it. I don't know. I just think they could have been used just a little bit more. Could have had a little bit more time to be fleshed out. Because I think if you're not really as big of a Marvel fan or don't get as immersed into the comics, then you probably won't really, you'll just be like, oh yeah, the Punisher guy, oh, he's cool. But I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. But let me know what you guys think. For any of you 90s Spider-Man fans. But to me, yeah, obviously Christopher Daniel Barnes, to me, he is the epitome of Spider-Man. He is the Kevin Conroy of Spider-Man lore. Because for every great live-action version of Spider-Man, just like for every great live-action version of Batman, there's always one animated version that stands tall. And that's Christopher for Spider-Man, and that's Kevin for Batman. But anyways, we are now going on 30 minutes. I don't know exactly how long I should, keep, just these streams going. Maybe I should perhaps cut them down by maybe 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. But overall, yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And again, subscribe to The Harsh Truth. And of course, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And that's all I got to say. Thank you again for tuning in to my first and certainly will not be my last live stream. Take care.